Aloy, I'm glad you have returned, and I see you have recovered ether.
Aloy, can you come downstairs? Beta has something you need to hear.
Okay. I'll be right down.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock additional rooms within the facility.
Got it. I'm back, Gaia.
Hello, Aloy.
How's Kotallo doing?
I have detected that the loss of his arm still deeply pains. In an effort to remedy this, I have discussed I believe he will want to fill you in on the details.
A solution? I'll check. So there's a few people here now, and they're learning. Almost like what was supposed to happen before.
Yes. Well, there is still much that can be gleaned from the... For instance, Varl has been entries from those who perished during the Pharaoh. Hearing their hopes and fears made him...
Anything I should be worried about?
I do not believe so. I have elected not to intervene.
The processor Ether was installed on was part of an ancient war museum. A memorial to something called the Hot... Do you know anything about...
My knowledge of historical events was unfortunately low. However, climate data indicates such conditions would see an increase in dust storms.
But they wouldn't have built a museum in the middle of a... So I guess things got...
Yes. Data levels in the clawback area.
I'll be off.
Farewell.
Is your focus acting up again?
Nah, it's fine.
I can take a look if you want.
Nah, usually works if I just flick it a few times with my thumb.
To knock the equipment. Kotallo must have moved his stuff in. Looks like some of the holograms are working now.
I have repurposed the displays to track Regala's activity in the region.
A useful war map. Aloy.
It's good to see you. I'm guessing...
I've been told of our enemy and their intention. Your friends showed me to the... vision you keep in this place, and explained the... They gave me this focus as well. I don't pretend to fully understand everything, but all I really need to know is where to train and when...
Welcome to the team, then. I heard my friend Talana came by the base. Did you get a chance to meet her?
Briefly. A bold woman. She'll be lucky if my people don't shoot her on...
She'll be careful. She's just...
Whoever it is, they better...
You've had some time with the team.
I admit, I was surprised to see Nutaru here. Farmers don't make for effective...
I'm told she rallied some in her tribe against the car and fought all the way to Barren Light.
Interesting.
Have you had a chance to speak with...
Briefly. He fought well against Regala's troops at Are all Nora as skilled as the two of you?
I'm not exactly one of them. But anyway, they managed to push the Karja from their lands.
I thought my tribe was the only one to have done that.
Does it still hurt?
It comes and goes. I try not to think about it. But its absence is all... It's difficult to explain.
I can't claim to understand.
Then you have my thanks.
What are you looking at over there?
The others have been helping me decipher the symbols the folk... So, I thought I'd try to understand the weapon you intend to use against the enemy. This Hephaestus, it will be able to...
Yes,
How many?
as many as we need.
Such power.
You said you were trained.
That's right. I've been watching holograms of your first... They are faster and more agile than... How many do the Zeniths have?
I'm not sure.
I would not wish to face them on my...
I'm with you there. Must be strange, seeing everything.
I can see their strengths and weaknesses. Simply to think that such a tiny object might be the most powerful weapon I've ever possessed.
Getting Ether out of the grove made for quite a spectacle.
One that showed the entire tribe that Hikaru's mission for peace is, for it is now blessed by the Ten themselves.
Anything else you've been looking at with...
Gaia showed me the... Not I am no chaplain, but I'd be curious.
What is it?
The old ones believed one could hear the great waters, even if you carried the carcass of a... They called them sea...
That sounds... You said the Bulwark was your home a long time ago.
Yes.
That's all you're gonna tell me?
Fine. As you wish. My parents were killed in a clan skirmish. As I grew older, I came to be known as an accomplished Tekote. I fought by his side against the Karja and led my squad on a dangerous climb into the... It was I who opened the gates at Barren Light from the east side, allowing the...
That must have gotten you some attention.
Indeed. I was welcomed.
Then why'd you leave?
I became a marshal.
Why did you leave the Sky Clan?
I was sent to the Kulrut, but back then I would have obeyed his every order. I believed in him. I was too blind to see the fear of a rising young warrior challenging his command. I returned a hero from the battle at Barren Light. But to him, never occurred to him that I had no interest in rising above.
Why did Tekote think you wouldn't be a threat to him if he sent you to the Kulrut?
Tekote knew that if I survived the Kulrut, I'd be forced to forsake the clan to serve the Tanakh as a whole. I'd never be allowed to challenge his command. After our victory at Barren Light, said it would be selfish to rob Hikaru and the marshals of... Even though he knew perfectly well, I had no intention of... It was exile, guised as an honor. So I became a marshal.
I'm sorry you had to go through.
I am not. Though it pained me at the time, marshal.
When we were at the Bulwark, the wings of the Ten. Hikaru also. What does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial, and it is why the challengers leap into the arena during the cool. Many times I imagined it, the feeling of freedom.
What did Chief Hikaru say when you told him he'd be
You spilt rebel blood at the Grove and helped reunite. There was little more to be said.
Well, I'm honored he lent me his best mark.
Indeed.
Now that you know who the enemy is.
I'll admit, I find them hard to grasp.
For now.
I will leave the strategy to you. I trust you will point my blade where it will cut the deep.
I should get going.
Back to my training, then.
Hey, look who's back.
I did. One step closer to taking...
Can't wait.
I made a new friend while I was getting Ether.
Yeah, I've seen him. Katalo's, You do know the cards just say these Tanakh drink people's blood?
You shouldn't believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
How are things going around here?
Hey, you tell me. Varl's new girl...
What did you do?
I made one joke about how they, eat grass. How does anyone fight with nothing but tree leaves in their stomach?
From the looks of it.
Yeah, well...
Just... You still sifting?
Yeah, it's interesting. I thought maybe I could try finding... Not much luck there, but like images put together to tell... They were made to look like they were the real thing. The Oseram, like shows.
I better get go-
All right.
Aloy, you found another one of God.
2 down.
I'm glad her healing can continue.
Have you met Katalo yet?
Yes, but Tanakh don't have much use for us. You must have made quite the impression for him to offer his fealty.
Are you guys training with Air?
If you count trying to stick a spear in his gut as...
I've been told.
Of course not.
Good.
I was going for a couple of broke... He called the Utaru leaf grade, laughed at the idea of us simple farmers being formidable. Before I knew it, he and I were battling it out in the common. The man is slow, but he can throw a hammer around. Don't look so worried. Next time he's going down like a load of board...
Just try not to kill each other.
Injuring his pride should be good enough.
Found anything else combing through?
Varl and I have been looking into the animals of the... Apparently there used to be thousands more species roaming around than there are. Can you imagine that? I'd give anything to see them. Though I know that without Artemis or Apollo, at least I can find comfort in as inspiration for her machine. Her memory honors them.
Now that you have those control cores, are you ready to reboot the land gods in Plainsong?
Not yet. Gaia told me the reboot code has to be altered using... She updated my focus with software, but apparently it's very complicated. It'll take...
Well, let me know if you need any...
I will.
I better get going.
Right. You've got that sub-func...
Ah,
How are things going around here?
hey, you tell me.
So
I make about... How did...
from the...
Yeah.
Just... I got...
Yeah, just keep...
I don't think that... Door had power before, but... looks like it's malfunctioning. Looks like some kind of maintenance space. I wonder where this leads. Power cells? Huh. That did it.
Aloy? A bunch of lights just turned on up here?
Hi! Happy birthday, Isaac! Daddy sure does love his little big man.
She found that recording from the data on your focus. She's been watching it a lot. I think it helps calm her.
You know, I used to watch this a lot too. Whenever I wanted to take my mind off things.
Daddy sure does love his little bit.
But there's something you need to tell me?
While you were gone, I came down here to check on her. Then we started talking. Right, Beta? She's been thinking about how to capture Hephaestus, studying the data Gaia gave her. But we started talking about some other stuff. You know, just getting to know each other, right? And then she told me that one of the Zeniths might be different from the others.
Tilda. You saw her at the Hades Proving Lab.
Go on.
On the way to Earth, the Zeniths never showed their faces. My servitor caretaker referred to them as my benefactors, and promised I'd meet them someday, when I had learned enough. And then, one day, a data channel opened in my training interface. In it, Tilda was waiting for me, in a virtual replica of a house on a cliff, overlooking the ocean. It was beautiful. She showed me paintings, books, media files. We met there in secret many times. But a few months later, it stopped.
Can you tell us why, Beta?
I found some data about Tilda at the Hades Proving Lab. I think she was a liaison between Far Zenith and Zero Dawn. She knew Elizabeth Sobek, that's for sure.
Maybe that's why she reached out to you?
What else can you tell us about Tilda? She liked to talk about her paintings. What about herself? Did she ever talk about her life on Earth, how she joined the Zeniths, something like that? She never said much about herself, and she hated it when I asked too many questions. But I think, back on Earth, she was an expert programmer, given that she built a data channel the other Zeniths couldn't detect. Is there anything else about her that we might be able to use to our advantage? She was the first real person who ever bothered to speak to me. I wasn't really assessing her for strengths and weaknesses. You said that Tilda reached out to you using a data channel? It appeared in my training interface as another assignment. When I opened it, there were a series of intermittent glitches. I realized they formed a transpositional cipher. Instructions on how to open up a new virtual space. When I entered it, my training interface disappeared. Instead of the usual holographic teachers and files, I was in a perfect recreation of her home. And you're sure the other Zeniths never knew about it? To them, it looked like I was still in training. Toiling away. Alone. So this secret virtual space looked like a house with an ocean view? I could see whitecaps and hear waves crashing on rocks below. And there were gulls crying outside. Inside, Tilda had frames that showed off her favorite paintings, changing at intervals to match the light. There was an armchair she liked. She'd sit there and gaze outside while I looked through her things. We spent hours in that house. I never wanted to leave. You said Tilda showed you paintings and let you access media files? Every time we met, she showed me a new painting. I think she was Dutch. All of her favorite pieces were from their golden age in the 1600s. Portraits, allegories, ships at sea. She had so many. That didn't interest you? I liked her media portal. It had so much more than my training interface. Clips, shows, holos. My favorite was this one called Second Time Around, about a family whose kid comes back after disappearing during the Hot Zone crisis. Right, but did this portal have anything about the Zeniths themselves? Anything we could use? No. Any information about them was redacted. So Tilda set up a secret virtual space where she could talk to you, a house on a cliff. Then later, she cut you off. But other than the fact that Tilda knew Elizabeth, you don't know why she did those things? I don't! Okay? I thought of every possible reason that would make her leave, but whatever I did wrong, I don't know what it is. When I finally met the others, she ignored me. Acted like the data channel never existed. None of this even matters. Tilda's the same as the others. It won't help us defeat them. Okay. Let's leave it at that then.
What's wrong?
I'm trying, Varl. But she is tough to take. I'm out there in the wilds, risking my life every day, and all she can do is hide in there and tell us how hopeless it all is. I'm sorry, she's had a rough time, but she is really not helping right now.
You always seem to be on top of everything, so I sometimes forget about what you've been through. I mean, it wasn't that long ago you were so banged up you couldn't even walk. About that. When I pulled you out of the water back near the proving lab, you were muttering Rost's name. You never talk about him. But he raised you, trained you. You must miss him a lot.
Of course I do. But I don't have time to think about that now. I need to get back out there.
Okay. I'll keep working with Beta. Gaia says she knows a lot about Zero Dawn. And maybe she just needs some time to adjust, and then she can help us with Hephaestus.
Sure. But I won't hold my breath.
Data says.
I'm telling you, drink, but it's soft.
This must be from the cool route. Between the Rockbreaker and the Slitherfang, Regala really wrecked the arena. And I have a feeling she won't stop trying until Hikaru's dead. My old spear. Rust helped me make it. When I finished my training. Feels like so long ago now. I know Varl meant well, bringing up Rost. I guess it's hard to talk about. With everything going on, it feels easier to set those memories aside. At least for now. Huh. Looks like someone's rearranged stuff in here.
Aloy, I see you found your room. Your companions thought you would appreciate a private space of your own.
That was thoughtful of them. I've been carrying Elizabeth's pendant with me for months. But since we're gonna stay a while, I think I'll keep it here, where it'll be safe. Beta's been difficult to figure out. She's just so closed off. I get that the Zeniths were cruel to her, that the one called Tilda abandoned her, but I can't get her out of her shell. I don't know. Maybe nothing can. This is the rite of passage that Vishav gave me at the embassy. I liked him. He seemed like a good man. I think he was really looking forward to going home. When I met Hikaru, I figured he was just another bloodthirsty warlord. But Vishav was right. Hikaru wants peace. It won't be easy. But with his new marshals, maybe his vision has a chance.
The old ones use their focuses to
There's a lot of equipment in here.
all kinds of measures.
Gaia? What was all this for?
This room was designed for management of the facility's vast seed banks. From here, control center operatives would have monitored new crop rotations into the automated farmlands, now known as Plainsong.
I see.
I've been tackling the design of the Ag Lab. Place is gonna have a lot of seed stock to work with. My favorite?
I am.
Sample 626. Calotropis gigantea. The crown flower. We used to have one in our backyard. Butterflies always fluttering around. Every morning, August would run out there to check under the leaves. See if any caterpillars turned into chrysalises. Now, I'd like to imagine that the future will be filled with them.
According to this console, there are still thousands of plant samples stored deep below the facility. I could ask Gaia about them the next time I talk to her. I think I'm back in range of the vista point. I could try to find where the image was taken. I'll fill up while I can. With the override fixed, I can use it on Ravagers now. Better get down. This isn't a place for a machine.
grove?
We walk in strength.
Regardless.
Are you certain there's...
Nothing you require.
May your enemies fall.
This'll be over quick with frost ammo.